What's good, y'all? I already know where y'all at. It's your boy Star Jones, and it's a new episode of Star Views. It's about to start right now. So please, I hope you got your hookah ready, and I hope you got your cups full of whatever ready, because I got a lot to talk about, alright? Know what's going on. Star Jones, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Please and thanks, you heard? What's good, folks? It's your man Star Jones. We back, man. We got another episode of Star Views. I know it feels like it's been a little while, probably because it hasn't been. I haven't put out a Star Views in about a month. Since Ambulance and Sonic the Hedgehog 2, please make sure y'all check out those videos if you haven't done so already. But tonight we're back. We're going to be talking about the latest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, aka the MCU. I know it feels like we're talking about Marvel every other 2 episodes of any content I put out, but it just is what it is. Disney in the Marvel Universe has a stronghold on the movie industry, choking out the industry crazy, and we're just going to continue to see them for the foreseeable future every 3 months or so like that. Marvel has a lot of things in the works, a lot of phases that are coming out, so this is going to be something that we're going to be seeing. Our kids are going to be seeing it, and our grandchildren are going to be seeing it. It's just, that's how far they got this thing planned out. But with all that said, we're going to be talking about Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. This is Doctor Strange's second standalone film. Don't be confused. Yes, he's made appearances in other films in the MCU, but they were not his solo films. So understand that Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness is the sequel from his standalone film back in 2016. I know I personally didn't love Doctor Strange. The first one, when it first came out, I had to watch it maybe 3 times before I actually did appreciate it. I'm going to be honest. So, yeah. So, Multiverse of Madness is out. We done seen it. And when I get back, we're going to talk about what transpired in the film. And, you know, ultimately at the end, how I feel about it, whether you guys should see it or not. Alright? So, we'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to get me a drink. Hopefully you got your drinks situated already. So, I'm going to see y'all in 2 seconds. I'll be right back. So we back, folks. You already know what it is. This is the portion of the show where we actually talk about what transpired in the film, what took place, a little overview. There will be spoilers, so if you sat with me this long, please spin the block if you have not seen this film already. Yeah, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or the person to violate the movie for you. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way possible that I could actually talk about this movie without giving you important details in this film. I think it's in my best interest as well as yours to share this information so you have a full, thorough understanding of how I feel and why I feel the way I do. So, spoiler alerts, if you continue watching after this point, that's on you. Don't be mad at me. Don't give me a dislike. Don't chew me out in the comments. None of that, alright? So with that said, the movie starts off, we see some type of strange variant. Yes. Ever since Loki, we've been introduced to variants. The conversation of multiverse with He Who Remains. If that was his name, I forget. Yeah, I think He Who Remains. Played by Jonathan Majors. When he died, he said, you know, the multiverse is about to get real. So ever since Loki, there has been conversations about different variants. We've seen this in No Way Home, and here we are in Doctor Strange. We're immediately introduced to some form, well, another universe's version of Doctor Strange. They're running from this octopus eyeball singular cyclops monster. And this is when we're first introduced to America Chavez. The movie wastes no time. We've seen America Chavez in the trailers throughout the course of the promotion. And we're immediately introduced to America Chavez and Doctor Strange in the opening scene of the movie. The 2 of them are running from said monster, and the reason being is because they made it clear out the gate that the monster is trying to take America Chavez's powers. America Chavez has the ability to jump through different dimensions because of this unsaid power that she has, unknown power. So America Chavez, again, she can jump through dimensions, and at this time, in this particular moment in the film, we don't know who's controlling the monster, but the person who's controlling the monster wants her powers so they can jump through dimensions. obviously, right? So this variant, Doctor Strange, tries to fight off the monster and ends up dying in the process. America Chavez then jumps into our world, our present MCU, through a portal, and she ends up in Manhattan, and that's where we see our MCU version, our MCU variant, Doctor Strange, the Doctor Strange that we all know. And may have a love and hate relationship with. I know there's a few people out there that's not too fond of Doctor Strange. So yeah, we meet Doctor Strange, and he's at Christine's wedding. Yes, Christine's getting married, and yeah, they're getting married, and he's playing this cool guy, like, yeah, I'm happy for you, I'm glad you're getting married, but then in the same breath, he begins to shoot a shot. I thought that was a Burt move, but you know, we could probably talk about that later on. But yeah, he begins to shoot a shot with Christine at her wedding, and then that's when they see America Chavez getting chased by this monster. So they get involved, they help her out, and then that's when America Chavez pretty much lets her know that she's being chased by this monster because of her powers. So Doctor Strange and Wong begin to try to help this young lady and try to figure out who's after her. So Doctor Strange has this bright idea. Let me reach out to someone who has magical sorcerer-like powers who can better assist versus other Avengers who don't really specialize in the mythical arts and stuff like that. So who does he reach out to? Wanda. Yes, Wanda. Scarlet Witch. So last time we seen Wanda, of course, this was at the tail end of WandaVision, the series. And she had possession of the Darkhold, and she was trying to... Darkhold is pretty much the MCU's like demon Bible or demon book. I don't know how you want to say it, but you know, this is the book of the damned and all the evil shit and the bad magic and the red magic and all that, you know what I'm saying, stuff you want to stay away from. And so she pretty much was studying the Darkhold at the conclusion of WandaVision in search of how she could potentially bring her two sons back, Wiccan and Speed, Billy and Tommy. So yeah. So of course she does her. When Doctor Strange pulls up, he pulls up on her in this what looks like to be some type of flower field, and she's doing gardening shit, and you know, living this, I guess, calm lifestyle. And Doctor Strange is like, hey, I need your help. I got this young lady. You know, maybe you have an idea what's going on. And Wanda says the girl's name. Mind you, Doctor Strange never mentioned the girl's name, never said anything about the girl's name. And so at that point, he's suspicious. And then that's when Wanda does, you know, she did her hex magic in Jersey, and that's how she took over that whole city in Jersey. And she, you know, drops her cloak, so to speak, and now Doctor Strange sees that she, you know, created this space that he walked into. So at that point, Wanda lets him know that, yeah, I'm after America Chavez, and I'll need her powers to get my kids, and if you don't hand her over, it's going to be a problem. Boom! That's when we learn that Wanda is going to be the villain in this film. Throughout the promotion of this film, the nerds out there in the nerd community, the comic book community, everybody was saying that Wanda was going to be the villain in this film. Boom, there you have it. She's after this girl, America Chavez, for her powers so she can go find her children in the universe and bring them to her universe. There we are. That's the movie pretty much, and then now it's pretty much Wanda versus Doctor Strange in the different variants in the different universes, because she's willing to jump different universes to obtain this power to save, well, not necessarily save her children, but to bring another universe's children into her own. That's the film. Yeah, that's the film. When we come back, we're going to actually talk about how I feel about it, whether or not you guys should see it, how I grade it, pros and cons, and all that good stuff. So I'll give y'all 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all refill y'all hookahs, and we'll be back. So we back at that part of the show where I tell you guys whether or not you should see it, good things about it, bad things about it. Now ultimately what I'm going to grade it. So, Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to say out the gate, I ain't going to waste any time. Wanda is a bad mother effer. she is the person that steals this movie and makes the movie exactly what it is. I do think that the introduction to her being the villain was actually pretty quick. But the movie is only 2 hours long. The way they promoted this film, they made it seem as if this movie was going to be long, like 3 hours. So yeah, they kind of introduced her as a villain relatively quickly, as I explained in the overview. But her as a villain, I think, is everything that we anticipated, especially if you were people that read House of M, the comic book run where Wanda pretty much got rid of all mutants by saying 3 words: no more mutants. So this was actually pretty intense. Miss Olsen did her thing as WandaVision. I mean, as Wanda. And again, it's crazy because the last time we actually saw Wanda was at the conclusion of WandaVision, when she had possession of the Darkhold and she was going through it. And everybody knows, they've made it clear that if you start studying the Darkhold, whether you want to or not, you start to become one with that evil shit. You know what I'm saying? The Darkhold has a way of, you know, exposing you to the dark energy in your body and your mind, and you kind of just become like this villain. Because now you just have this I don't give a F attitude, and I'm gonna get whatever it is that I want to get. So again, last time we saw Wanda, she was studying the Darkhold, looking for her children, and so now she's on a warpath to get America Chavez's power. That's what she wants. She wants to see her kids again, and she doesn't care what universe she steals them from. So, with all that said, something else that was very good in the movie was the introduction to the Illuminati. The Illuminati consisted of Black Bolt from the TV show on Fox. Captain Carter, Sharon Carter came back, just like in What If. Gotta watch What If, the animated show series on Disney+. Spectrum's mom, I believe her name is Monica Rambeau. I'm not sure which one is which, but Spectrum, we want to just call it Spectrum because we know who Spectrum is because she was introduced in WandaVision. So her mom, we haven't seen her since Captain Marvel. It was good to see her. Professor X, yes, last time we saw him was in the X-Men universe in Logan, and he was killed off, so it was nice to see him and his iconic floaty chair, the yellow one from the animated series from back in the 90s. And then Reed Richards, the leader of Fantastic Four, played by my guy John Krasinski from Quiet Place. The fan-selected cast. Everybody wanted to see him play Reed Richards, and there we go, fans. We have it. So we have something to look forward to with these characters, possibly being in another universe because unfortunately they died. Wanda plays no games with them, and as soon as we're introduced to them, they get offed. Yes, every single last one of them. I said this will be spoilers, so if you didn't spin and now you're upset at me, it's your fault. But yeah, Wanda makes quick work of them. Professor X, Reed Richards, Spectrum's mom, all of them, they all get smoked. And they die. Like, Wanda really was on some shit. Like, I'm not here to talk to y'all. Y'all stop me from doing what I want to do. So y'all my way, you're going to die. And she kind of told Doctor Strange that early in the film. Like, listen, if you don't give me the girl, there's going to be a problem. And she held up her end of the bargain. She didn't bluff. She did what she said she was going to do. And made life miserable for these heroes from across the different universes. So, and it's crazy because Wanda wasn't... 616 Wanda? Oh yeah, I'm going to mention 616. Wanda, 616 Wanda wasn't even physically in front of the Illuminati and Doctor Strange. It was actually her dream walking. Dream walking in the movie is this ability to project yourself, your mental, into the variant in that particular universe. So Wanda was dream walking in the Wanda in that universe and pretty much wiped the floor with all the Illuminati members. So yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. That was different, and that was kind of intense for Marvel, for MCU. There was a little bit of blood, and it was but it was a little bit of blood for Marvel was a lot of blood for Marvel, for Disney Marvel. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen this much blood before, and I'm into like gory stuff, so that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. I think Wanda really made the movie for what it was. So yeah, I mentioned 616. that is the particular Earth that the MCU takes place in. If you follow the comics, then you guys know that every universe is referred to as a different Earth in the comics. So to finally hear the MCU be referred to as 616 was kind of interesting and cool. But outside of that, I didn't really enjoy the movie. Oh yeah, also the what if connections. Like for example, how Captain Carter got killed is the same way zombie Captain America got killed. Gotta watch the show. I ain't gonna violate you. I can see that for yourself. But you know, that was cool. So I like those tie-ins, and you know, it was like seeing a live action what if. But yeah. So now, didn't really outside of Wanda, I really just didn't like the story. Like her motivation kind of was kind of like, you want to kill everybody for your sons in a different universe. And Doctor Strange asked her like, so what are you gonna do when you see that Wanda? Like, you gonna leave her with no children? So it was like kind of like, Wanda could have been motivated to do other stuff, but again, I guess this is based on the comic, but it just didn't pan out well in my opinion. The story just didn't go off like that. The first with America Chavez, excuse me, her story is kind of interesting because when I did my homework about America Chavez, I didn't know much about her. Just like I didn't know much about Morbius, I didn't know much about Moon Knight. So I kind of do some homework on these characters just to see like who they are. And so with America Chavez, from my understanding, well, from the comic book run that I briefly went through, the story in the comic was so much better than what they did in the movie with her parents. Again, she has two mothers. So in the comic book run that I read, I forget which one, her two parents were like these super smart doctors, scientists, things like that. And they died saving these children that were being experimented on by like this super rich, by day philanthropist, but at night a sadistic scientist who's like doing the worst things imaginable to these kids. So they died trying to save these children. In the movie, they died because America Chavez was scared of a bee, and in the process of being scared, she opened up this portal and they were sucked through the portal. FYI, regarding the portals for America Chavez and her power, when she opens up these portals, it has like this super strong gravitational pull, so to speak. So once it's open, it's going to suck whoever's near through it. Like if you're relatively close, you're going to get pulled through, regardless. So it has like this black hole feel. So yeah, in Multiverse of Madness, they were killed because she was scared of a bee. She magically opened this portal because she didn't know how to use her power, and they got sucked out and was, I guess, killed. So yeah, I didn't really feel that too much, especially after reading what was like the story in the comic. I thought the comic book story was valid, and then seeing this story in the movie kind of fell short a little bit. I just thought I wasn't good. So yeah. There's a con. The first Doctor Strange movies, as I mentioned earlier in the intro, I didn't love them. I didn't love it, rather. And it's kind of the same thing. I got some kind of indifferent about Doctor Strange. I don't really care about Doctor Strange. I don't hate Doctor Strange, but I just really don't care about him. So I'm not excited about anything Doctor Strange has to do. So yeah, like, if you are a Doctor Strange film fan in particular, then yeah, definitely see the movie. If not, I feel like this is definitely a one and done kind of situation. You can see it and just keep it pushing. Don't have to spin back ever again. So with that said, I'm going to give this movie 6.5 stars out of 10. Didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I don't think it was a bad movie. I just think it was real regular. The way they hyped this movie up was on the same par as No Way Home. And I thought No Way Home was amazing. Y'all know how I felt about that. So when it wasn't, it was kind of just like, let down. Another movie under the underwhelming category. I think Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness was not it. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. If you say you went to go see it, I'm not mad at you. If you said you enjoyed it, I'm not mad at you. If you said I hated it, I'm also not mad at you. It's just one of those gray area movies. 6.5 out of 5. I mean, out of 10. Y'all do what y'all do with that. We're also introduced to a new character, Cleo, played by Charlize Theron, who is Doctor Strange's eventual wife in the comic. So I'm interested to see that, though. So Doctor Strange will return. There will be a third standalone Dolo film. So we'll see how that goes. I will see you guys in a couple weeks for Top Gun Maverick. All right, that is the sequel with Tom Cruise where he plays a guy in the Air Force and he's good at flying fighter pilots. I mean, he's a fighter pilot who's good at flying jets in the Air Force. This movie is like 30 years in the making, the sequel. So I'm excited to see that. I actually have it queued up on my streaming app. So I will watch that and do my homework in these next couple of weeks. So I will see y'all when I see y'all. Y'all have a good day, a good evening. Whenever y'all watching this, y'all be good, y'all be good, and I'm going to holler at y'all. Oh, y'all still here? Appreciate y'all for sticking around, man. But I don't got no more hookah. But what I do have is more content on my YouTube channel. So please, if you haven't done so already, hit that red button and subscribe. Hit the bell so you get notified as soon as I post anything. All right? And if you haven't already followed me on social media, here's my information. Make sure y'all follow up. Appreciate it. Y'all still here, man. That's valid. Have a good one.